Hello, everyone. I am Supriya Raja, and I am a special educator by profession. In fact, I have been in this field of special education for more than 12 years, working very closely with children and knowing how children think, how children perceive ideas, what inspires them, what helps them to comply with adult instructions, etc. Well, if you ask me, there is one thing that I always advocate, and that is please get your child to be inspired to read. Get your child interested in reading. And if you ask me why I keep harping on this statement, is as a child, I have myself witnessed in school how a struggle learner, a child who is unable to cope with school content, a child who has problem with reading, a child who is finding the curriculum too much, too overwhelming to absorb, is treated by maybe that one mean teacher. I'm not saying all teachers can be mean, but I'm sure you can relate to this. There may be that one mean teacher who pulls up your child, pulls up that particular child, right? So likewise, even I have seen in my own school years, like how a struggle learner is treated by maybe a particular mean teacher, how he or she is pulled up, and the kind of expression the child emits while going to collect the answer sheets, the crestfallen face of the child when the child is going and collecting answer sheet from the teacher, and how the teacher so loudly proclaims the child's scores in front of the entire class just to teach the child a lesson. See, you haven't done this test well. See, you are not good enough for this particular class. See, you are not good enough itself. You have to improve. You have to work on yourself. But these are all very superficial statements and advices that a teacher can give to a child. I have also seen, not just in my academic setting, but also later on in a professional environment. That is, when I enrolled for a professional course, I experienced being a struggle learner myself. Yes, it was not in an academic field, it was in the field of apparel designing, but whatsoever, I realized that if I do not have the necessary skill sets to cope with that content, with the curriculum of a particular field, then I'm done. And I experienced the same thing in that particular professional setting as in apparel designing course. So one thing I realize, and I do always advocate to parents, is do not wait for the school to tell you in a parent-teacher meeting that your child is not able to cope properly, that your child is not interested in reading, your child is not having much interest in learning, your child is having difficulty understanding curriculum, you have to make your child read more. Don't wait for the school to do that. Instead, I always advise parents to start instilling this reading habit, instilling this interest in reading in books, reading and getting interest in books from a very young age. Because reading is not a habit, or reading is not a skill that is inherent. Reading is something which is to be instilled. Evolutionary speaking also, mankind has always developed skill sets which are inherent naturally, like walking, crawling, speaking. But reading was something that had to be developed, and that happened much later, if you remember. Likewise, in our present day also, reading is something we have to instill from a young age. Now, why do I say get your child inspired to reading? I always say that to parents, get your child to read, get your child interested in reading to books. The reason being, reading, yes, is a prerequisite skill to handle school curriculum, to be fairly successful in school years, to have it easier in school years. But why would a child develop interest in reading? Why would a child actually read unless and until he or she has an interest in reading? Now, that is what I always focus on. It's not just about building fluency in reading, but also a more deeper level of getting your child inspired to reading, getting a child drawn to reading, getting a child connecting reading as a joy activity, a joyful activity, and that books as wonder, not a boring thing, right? Especially in today's world of so much of social media and cell phone addiction. This is something, it's a gift that you can give to your child as an option. So yes, if you're wondering as a parent, how do I do this? How do I inspire my child? Yes, I'm reading to my child, but I'm not able to be consistent. I'm not able to get my child interested in reading. How do I myself get my child to be drawn to reading, inspire my child? Well, I have a masterclass. The link is provided below, where I will be teaching you in the masterclass, giving you exactly 3 secrets where you will have to instill in yourself these 3 attributes to actually get your child to reading, to be consistent, and also put your child onto the pathway of being a constant lifelong reader and learner, and of course be successful not only in school years but beyond. Well, the link is provided below. Please register for the masterclass. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.